All right, this is pre-algebra lesson 8.3, slope and y-intercept. Very important concept here. Again, not much math, not much arithmetic, but very important concept. Okay, here's the deal. The slope of a line, remember, here's the deal. Here's our coordinate plane. You can have a line here. There could be a line here. It could be straight up and down. It could be flat, right? The slope of the line tells you how steep the line is. Okay, that's what the slope of the line is. Here's how the slope works. The slope is the rise over run. Okay, we get into a little bit more details with that next year in algebra, but that's the gist. It's rise over run. Okay, it's real simple. Rise meaning how much does it go up and down, and run meaning how far does it run. This is what I mean. Okay, this is what I mean. If I have a line that goes from here to here, okay, do you see my line here? You guys all see my line? Okay. Let's figure out what the slope is. Here's how you do it. You take any 2 points on the line that land on a corner, right? I mean, you can't really tell if, like on this line, I can't really tell this spot right here exactly where that's at. Does that make sense? I can't tell that because it's not on a corner. But I can tell if the line goes right through this point right here, I can tell that's right on that corner. Does that make sense? So I can tell you what the coordinates are. So the coordinates of this one here would be like negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is negative 10, 3. Do you all agree with that? That is negative 10, 3. Does that make sense? Okay. And this point here would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 7, 5. This is negative 7, 5. That's the 2 points. Agreed? That's just the 2 points. You need to find 2 actual points on the graph. So you're looking for places, like if I give you a line that looks like that, can you show me 2 points? Can you look and see, is there 2 points on there that are clearly on the line there? I would say that like right there would be one. Do you see what I'm talking about? And then the next one would be like right there. Those are 2 points. You got to find 2 actual points that you can define. Can I choose the point right there? Well, you could, but is it on the line? Can you really tell exactly where that's at? No. And so don't use that point. You always use a point that's actually in a corner, that's actually on the graph, a point that you can define. Does that make sense? Anyway, for the actual slope portion of this, you don't need to know that the actual points don't matter. If I'm just asking you what the slope is, you don't even need to know that it's 10, negative 3, negative 10, 3, and negative 7, 5. Here's how you do it. It's rise over run. The rise. If we're going to go from this point to this point, okay, pay attention. If I'm going to go from this point to this point, okay, so from here, how far do I have to rise to go from here to here? I went up, how many?
3.
Not 3.
2.
Look here, I'm confused. If I'm going from right here to here, how far is it from here to here?
1.
1. How far is it from here
2.
to here?
2.
Right? It's not 1, 2, 3. Hello? So that's, guys, the fact that you guys said 3 scares me. Because from here, it's 1, 2. You don't go 1, right? That's not 1, right? The distance. You all understand that?
Yeah.
You all understand that?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
I wish I could believe you. So the rise then, since we went up 2, the rise is 2. So it's 2 over.
3.
What is the run? How far do we have to run? Well, we're running to the right. How far do we run?
3.
3. They're both positive because when we go up, it's positive. When we go to the right, it's positive, right? So it's 2 over 3. The slope of this line is 2/3. That's the slope of this line. Does that make sense? I need to show you something else. What happens if I'm going to go from here to here? What if I'm going to start here? I started here and went here. What if I start here and go here? Will the slope change? Let's take a look. To go from here, how do I get there? What is the rise when I go from here? I'm going to go from here down to here. I have to go down 2. So do you agree I'm going down 2? Yeah. So what is that? What would I write there? I'm going down 2. I write down, what's the rise?
3. Oh, negative 2.
Stop. The rise is 3. Did I rise 3? Gigi? No. So what did I rise? When I went down 2, what was my rise? When I went up 2, what was the rise? When I went up 2, what was the rise? How far did I go up when I went up 2? 2. The rise was 2, right? When I went from right here to right here, right? How far up did I go? What was the rise? 2. The rise was 2. I rose 2. When I ran this way, how far did I run? I ran 3 to the right, right? So the run would have been 3, right? So then here, when I go down 2, what's the rise?
Negative.
It's a negative 2. I went down 2. The rise is negative 2 because I went down 2. Now I'm going to run from here over to here. How far did I run? I ran 2? I ran 2 here? To go from right here to right here, I'm running 2. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 3.
How far did I run?
3.
Now, I'm running to the left. Agreed?
Yeah.
So when you're running to the left, that is a minus 3. That's a negative 3. So what is negative 2 over negative 3? What is that? What is a negative 2 divided by a negative 3? A negative over a negative is a positive. So what is the slope then of this? It's still 2/3. Whether I start here and run to here, or whether I start here and run to here, listen, this line here, our line, is the same line no matter where you start, no matter what you do. That slope of that line is the same. Do y'all understand that?
Yeah.
This line has a slope, and it doesn't change whether you start here and go to here, or whether you start right here and go to here, or whether you start right here or go to here. The slope of this line isn't moving. That line has a slope, and it's 2/3. Got it? Okay, so let me give you another one. I'll give you another question, and you tell me what is the slope, okay? You're going to need to write down the rise over the run. That's the slope. You write the rise over the run. Okay, those dots are trying to let you know that they're on those corners. So you do that for me. You tell me the rise over the run. You should be done. You're watching now. I really want your eyes up here. You working on this now makes no sense. You're going to watch. The rise. Listen, as a general rule, I like to go from left to right. But can you go from right to left? Is this guy's slope going to change based on whether I start here or whether I start here? Will the slope change? No. The slope of this line is going to be the slope of this line regardless. Got it? So, what is the rise? When I do this, I like to go from left to right, but you can do either one. When I go from this point right here, since we're going left to right, I'm going to go up what? What is the rise? What is the rise? What's the rise?
4.
You really can't tell that that's 4? This is 4. We went up 4. The rise over the run. So the rise is 4. I went up 4. From here, I ran to the right, which is also positive. How far did I run? 2. My slope is 4 over 2. Can that be reduced?
Yes.
It can. It's a what?
I put a half.
It's not a half. 4 over 2 is not 1/2. It's 2 over 1. Right? Does that make sense? It's 2 over 1, which reduces to 2. The slope of this line here is 2. Does that make sense? If you put 2 over 1, you're not wrong. That's not how you would write when it's something over 1. You make it a whole number. The slope of that line is 2. Try another one. Okay, this time we're going to go here to here. Okay, I want to know the slope. Okay, all right, all eyes up here now. For real, there's no work to be done here. There really isn't. All eyes up here. Going from left to right. What's the rise? Let's look. We went down here. How far down did I have to go there?
4.
I went down 4. Right? Don't you see? I went down 4. Listen, people, I'm confused. I'm right here. You don't go 1. Did you put 5, Brad?
What? No.
What'd you put?
4.
So you go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 4. So, but here's the deal. I went down 4. What is down 4?
-4.
-4. Right? You have to. You're now to the point, people, where no matter what you do in math, you have to decide, am I talking about positive or negative? Every time you do anything, is this positive or negative? If I go up and it's 4, and that's a positive 4, then down has to be a -4. When I go from here to here, how far did I move? 1. To the right, is that positive or negative? That's positive. So then, what is -4 over 1? How do I write that? That is a -4 slope. Make sense? Did you get -4 slope?
Can we try another one?
Sure. Okay. I'll tell you a secret. You ready for this? I'm going to show you something. Watch this. That slope right there. If you are going from left to right, are you ready? Are you listening? If you are skiing, and you're skiing from left to right, am I skiing uphill or downhill?
Down.
If I'm skiing from left to right,
Oh.
from left to right, and I'm skiing along this slope, am I skiing uphill or downhill? Uphill. That means that this slope is a positive slope. That is true. It's a positive slope. If I'm skiing and you see a slope that looks like this, and from left to right it's going down, that means it's a negative slope. Do you all understand that? Also, here's something else you need to just memorize. I can't memorize it for you. Any slope that is like this, that is straight across, okay? Any slope that is if I ask you what a horizontal slope is, if you were skiing and you were doing this, you would say he has no problem skiing here, right? I mean, it's not like he's scared because he's going uphill. He's not scared because he's going downhill. Skiing on a very flat surface is no problem. Agreed? Therefore, there is no slope here. It's a 0 slope. This, you could say there's no slope, or you could say it's a 0 slope. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, flat, skier, no problem. If it is a straight up and down, it is a vertical line. This is, could anybody ski that? No, you can't. This is called undefined. You need to know that word. I will not take any other word for that. This slope is called undefined. It's called undefined. It's not 0 slope. Now, you guys do another one. Here we go. I'll give you another one. We'll see if you can do it. Okay. Give me that slope. Right off the bat, you should know whether it's positive or negative. Right off the bat, you should know whether it's positive or negative. How do you know?
Because it's left to right.
From left to right, you're going uphill, which makes it a positive slope. You should already be done. You can just look at this. It's rise over run. So pencils down. I'm not kidding. You should already be done. Did you just watch? Very simply. How much did it go up to get to the next point? It went up 1. So the rise over run is 1. And then how far did he run to the right? 3. There's the slope. How long does that take? Honestly, how long does that take? About 5 seconds. I mean, maybe less, right? Okay, I'm going to give you another one. Rise over run. Without saying anything out loud, you should already know, whether that's a positive or negative slope. You should already know that. Okay, you guys should be already done. No doubt. Here we go. So what is the rise? As we're going from left to right, what's the rise? We go right here. What is the rise there?
-3.
That is a -3. And how far do we run?
2.
+2. Why is it +2? Because we're running to the right. Right? So can we do anything about that? Is there anything else we can reduce there? No, you leave that alone. Slope, you leave as an improper fraction. You do not turn that into a mixed number. That is the slope. Negative, and you wouldn't leave it like this. You wouldn't go -3/2. That's not the slope. What is the slope? -3/2 like that. Does that make sense? It's a -3/2. That's the slope. You all know they're the same thing, right? But this and this are the same. Okay, I'm going to give you like one more and then we have to move on. Okay, first of all, what is that? What slope is that called?
Undefined.
That's undefined, right? And what is this slope called? You either say 0 or no. If you're talking about just talking to somebody, you'd say there's no slope. If you're going to write down what that slope is, you'd put 0. Does that make sense? Okay. Last one. I give you 10 seconds. Question?
No, I haven't.
No. You look up there and you do the lame counting that is not true. No, that's not even it. That is for sure not, but that's not it.
Wow.
Here, 1, 2, 3, right? Right? So the slope, here we go. You go down like this. You go, how far do we have to go down? We went down 3, which makes it a -3 rise. And then the run is to the right. That is a +1. What is the slope then?
-3.
-3. How many of you got -3 as the slope? What did you put, Gigi?
I did it on the other side.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do the other side. Let's go like this. That means that the run is how much? +1. The run is a +1. That goes on the bottom. And then what is the rise?
I mixed up the rise and run and put 2 instead of 3.
That just makes no sense. I mean, you got to know that distance there is 3. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
I left it at -4.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I can't help you I don't know what to do if you have to be able to tell me how far those are apart. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to do that. Okay. Another way of writing, another way of doing slope. While it is, yes, it is rise over run. That is not going to change. Another way of doing it is if I give you two sets of coordinates, if I said it's 1, 2, and 4, 8, okay? If I said those are the 2 points, without using the coordinate plane, you can tell me the slope just by doing some math. I'll show you. One, if you had to, what could you do to find the slope of these two things? You could graph them. You pull out your coordinate plane, you put down 0.12, and you put down 0.48, and then you do your slope. You go up whatever and move over, and you figure out the slope. I'm telling you, you don't have to do that. What you can do is this. Another way of writing rise over run is to write down, it's this. It's called the change in y over the change in x. Okay? It's the change in y over the change in x. Write this thing down. Just like right there. Just write it down. Write it down. Write that exact thing down. That's what I want you to do. I want you to write down exactly what I have here. What I circled there, write it down.
And that's the slope.
I want you to write that down, and then I'll tell you what to do. This is called the slope formula. That is called the slope formula. This is how you figure out the slope without actually having to graph it. You would go m equals, you know what m stands for? Slope. M means slope. So right there, m equals triangle y over triangle x. I'll read this to you now, okay? I'm going to read this to you. This reads, the slope is the change in y over the change in x. The triangle in math means change. Okay? The triangle in math means change. This is the slope formula. Did you all write down m equals triangle x or triangle y over triangle x? Okay? So then, if the slope is that, if that's how you figure out the slope, let's figure this out. Look here. We're going to take 1 point here. This is 1 point. Do you agree that that's 1 point? 1, 2 is a point, right? We're going to call that point 1. And this is going to be point 2. You understand what I'm saying? Can you all envision that this is 1 point? It's 1, 2, there's a point there, and then there's another point up here that's 4, 8. Can you all envision that? Just kind of like get that in your head. There's 2 points there. And we're going to call this one point 1 and this one point 2. Here's the deal. What letter goes here? Is that X or Y, the first one? X. What letter goes here? Y, right? So then here's the deal. We're going to call this X1, and this is Y1, because this is the X coordinate on point 1, and this is the Y coordinate on point 1. Makes sense? And this is X2, and this is Y2. Does that make sense? They don't belong up there like that. They've got to go like this. X1 and Y1 and X2 and Y2. If I put the 2 up high, it makes it look like it's being squared, right? Exponents. Anyway, so here's the slope formula. Change in y over change in x. Here it is. Another way of writing this is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Write that down as well. That's the same exact thing. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. They are the exact same thing. All of these are equal to each other. Write it down. Write it down. Did you write it down? We're good? We're good? I'll write it down. Jade, are you done writing it down? Okay, so then here we go. Watch what I do then. That's what we're going to use. We're going to plug in our points into right here. So what is y2?
8.
What's y2, Gigi? Gigi, what's y2? So listen, you got to follow along with me here. Where did I write down? Where's y1? Where's y2? Stop.
Oh, 1, 2.
Where's y2?
Oh,
8. Where's y1? What's y1?
2.
What's x2? Thank you. Now you're with me, right? Now you're following me. Who decided this? Did the book give me and tell me which one is x1 and y1 and which one's x2 and y2? No. I chose this. I'm telling you, I picked that this point here was point 1, and I picked that this point is point 2. And I know that this is x and that's y, and I know that that's x and that's y. Does that make sense? I'm picking this. So, I've decided that that's what these points are. So I'm going to do y2. What's y2 again, Gigi? 8. So I'm going to go 8 in parentheses. Notice there's a minus there. Minus, what is, so hold on, the slope formula says y2 minus y1. What's y1?
2.
Gigi, what's y1?
2.
Over, it says x2 minus x1. What's x2? 4 in parentheses. Minus, what's x1? Okay. Can we now do this math? Can you do this math? Gigi, what's 8 minus 2?
6.
What's 4 minus 1? What is 6 over 3? 2. The slope of these two lines right here is 2. These two lines of these 2 points, the line that goes through those 2 points, the slope is 2. Make sense? I'll show you again. Last one. If I have the point negative 3, 1, and the point 2, 4, can you all envision that there are 2 points there? And I want you to tell me the slope of them. If you absolutely had to, what could you do here?
Graph it.
You could graph it, right? You don't need to. You're going to, trust me when I tell you, you're going to need to know how to use the slope formula. Which one of these points do I want to call point 1? It don't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. But okay, we'll choose this to be point 1, and we'll choose this to be point 2. Okay? So then, right now, for a while, you should label them. That makes this negative 3 is what, Gigi? That's x1, right? This is x1. And what is this? This is not an x. That's y1. Right? This is x.1, y.1. And this right here, what is this 2 here? That's x2. And what is the 4? y2. Good. We've chosen that. There they go. The formula says, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the formula. That's what we're going to use. All we do is plug it in. What's y2? 4. Notice this. I put in parentheses. Don't not do that. You put it in parentheses, and there's a reason why. We'll talk about it. We'll get to it in a second. It's actually right here. We'll get to it. 4. What is, and then it's minus. What is y1? No. What is y1?
Oh, 1.
Okay. What is x2?
2.
In parentheses 2. Minus. What is x1? Oh, negative 3. Is it important that I put those things in parentheses? If I don't, I might just put only one negative here. Does that make sense? Do you see this down here? Do you see those 2 negatives touching? What does that mean you do? It's add, right? It means you add. 2 negatives touching mean you add. That's important. Would that change this answer if you subtracted it instead of adding it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right? So then all of a sudden I need to rewrite this. This is 4 minus 1 is 3. And then 2 minus a negative 3 is a plus is 5. What's my slope? 3/5. My slope is 3/5. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm just curious about something. I really am. I'm going to see what they say. What do they say? Oh, they don't say. Oh, wait, here we go. This is 8.2.
8.3.
This is 8.3. Okay. Okay, good. I feel better. We will be done today. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to have you do numbers. So, okay, you're going to do on page 414, you're going to do numbers 1, 2, 4, 15. 1, 2, 4, and numbers 23 and 24. Write that down right now. Write this down right now. Write this down right now. Write this down right now. Did you write down? Did you write down? Okay. Those are the 5 questions you're doing for homework tonight.